He bragged about his species' reflexes. She dropped him before he blinked. The story began in the training hall of the Galactic Academy, where cadets from 37 different species gathered to test their skills against one another. The walls hummed faintly with the energy field that prevented fatalities, though everyone knew that the shields didn't make the humiliation of defeat any less painful. Among them stood a Xyrrlath warrior named Korvac, a creature with 4 arms, segmented plates along his back, and eyes that never seemed to blink. His people were infamous for their speed, their reflexes honed by an evolutionary arms race on their volcanic homeworld, where predators struck in microseconds and hesitation meant death. Korvac towered over the others, clicking his mandibles with a smug rhythm that grated on everyone's nerves. No one matches a Xyrrlath, he boasted in a voice like broken glass. We move faster than thought itself. Our reflexes are legend, unmatched in the galaxy. You slow creatures would fall before you even realize you've been struck. He raised his upper hands in a theatrical flourish, making sure all eyes were on him. Most cadets muttered irritably but avoided confrontation. Most species had already learned the futility of testing themselves against the Xyrrlath. Korvac had defeated them all, darting forward before their muscles twitched, knocking them to mat, grinning as a protective shield buzzed to absorb the impact. Then his gaze landed on her. The human. Lieutenant Marave stood calmly at the far end of the hall, her arms folded, her dark eyes steady as a frozen star. She wasn't large, wasn't imposing, and to most of the gathered aliens she looked unremarkable. But she had a way of holding still, of radiating a quiet intensity that unsettled those who underestimated her. Korvac's mandibles curved into a grin. "Human," he hissed, the word laced with contempt. "Your kind prides itself on endurance, on stubbornness. But endurance does not save you when your enemy moves before you can react. Do you dare face me? Or do you admit you are too slow?" The hall grew silent, the tension electric. Mara tilted her head slightly, her expression unreadable. "You brag a lot," she said quietly, her voice carrying across the room. "Maybe you should prove it." A ripple of surprise passed through the cadets. No one had expected the human to accept. Korvac clicked his mandibles in amusement. "You will regret this. Prepare yourself, fragile one." The instructor sighed but activated the dueling field, sealing the 2 inside. The floor glowed faintly, sensors locking onto their biometrics. Korvac dropped into his fighting stance, arms spread, eyes darting with inhuman speed. Mara remained standing as she was, hands loose at her sides, relaxed, almost bored. "Begin!" the instructor barked. Korvac lunged. To the watching cadets, it happened in less than a blink. He was a blur of chitin and muscle, crossing the space in an instant, his lower arms striking for her torso, his upper arms reaching for her neck. It was supposed to be over before Mara even registered the movement, but what the crowd saw made their eyes widen in shock. Before Korvac's claws even reached her, Mara's body shifted. A single step, a twist of her hips, and her hand snapped forward like lightning. Her palm struck his chest with brutal precision. The shield buzzed violently as the impact reverberated through Korvac's body, slamming him backwards with force that stunned the hall into silence. He hit the mat hard, his legs scrambling for purchase, his mandibles clattering in disbelief. He tried to rise, but Mara was already standing over him, calm, steady, unflinching. "You blinked," she said softly. The room erupted in stunned murmurs. Dozens of cadets stared in disbelief, some with mouths open, others glancing at one another as though asking if they had truly seen it. The Xyrrlath were the fastest, everyone knew that. Yet the human had dropped him before he could even land a strike. Korvac growled, humiliation burning hotter than the ache in his chest. "Impossible," he spat, forcing himself upright. "You cheated." "No," Mara cut in, her voice like steel. "You rely on speed, but speed without discipline is predictable. You telegraph your strike before you even moved. I saw it coming and I acted. That's the difference between reflex and training." The words cut deeper than the blow. The cadets knew she was right. Korvac's people moved faster than thought, but humans, they trained their instincts until they became something else entirely. Where the Xyrrlath trusted biology, humans trusted years of practice, failure, and refinement. Korvac staggered, fury boiling in his eyes, but when he met her gaze, something else flickered there, fear. For the first time in the Academy's history, a Xyrrlath warrior realized he might not be the apex predator in the room. Mara stepped back, hands once again loose at her sides. "Bragging doesn't win fights," she said. "Preparation does." The duel ended. The energy field deactivated, and the hall remained hushed long after they left. That night, whispers spread to the Academy corridors. Whispers of the human who struck faster than the galaxy's fastest. Whispers of a species whose danger lay not just in their bodies, but in their ability to see, to anticipate, to adapt. The galaxy learned something that day, something Korvac would never forget. You don't measure a human by speed, by strength, or even by reflexes. You measure them by the fact that when the moment comes, they will already have decided to act, before you've even realized a fight has begun.